EPiC is Elvis telling his own story in his own words, but with 59 hours plus of footage, you did make a lot of choices in what to show and what not to show.
Yeah.
So, what were you trying to help Elvis convey to his
Oh, yeah,
audience?
I think, look, John O'Reilly and I had to make a decision because when we found this tape of him just speaking unguarded, so much Elvis stuff, as you would know as a fan, it's about talking heads, people saying, oh, I put gas in his car and I wrote a book. So we wanted to be guided by Elvis. We just kept saying, what would Elvis do? And so we really, really focused on, in the movie, Elvis says, well, it's very hard to live up to an image. The image is one thing and the man is another. And we try to allow the audience to get as close as possible to Elvis the man. And Elvis the man is really funny, really goofy, incredibly empathetic, very human, kind, and he is full of a lot of love. Yeah.
And there was so much of his humor in the movie. He definitely made me laugh a couple times. So, did you intentionally try to highlight that humor?
It's not so much we highlighted it, it's that it usually gets cut out. Um, I think there was a bit of a controlling factor, we won't go into who that was, about keeping Elvis a certain way. And of course, this is him at his prime, but you can tell now because you see so much of him just rehearsing, hanging out with the guys. There's footage we just couldn't use just because, like, we had to focus it. But just him hanging with the sweets and talking just like, I don't know, like brother and sister and just talking about ordinary things and then being really funny.
Right. And there was one shot you had in the movie of Colonel Tom Parker looking at Elvis from the stage, and he was singing to a woman, and you slowed it down and really focused on that moment.
Mm.
So after making EPiC and the biopic and being interviewed in Return of the King, how would you characterize their relationship?
Well, I really, when I made the movie, I mean, I was a Elvis fan as a kid, but it's a bit like Amadeus. I love Amadeus, the film. And Amadeus, you learn a lot about Mozart, but really it's about jealousy. Now, I'm fascinated by this thing of this genius huckster salesman, right? Which is what the Colonel was. He was never Colonel or Tom or a Parker, right? He invents himself. He's a carny who's a genius at selling. And what he was looking for was a carnival act. And what he found was Orpheus, like this incredibly unusual kid living in one of the white houses in a black community who fuses music, who's just had his own style. I mean, he never had a stylist. He came up with his look, right? You see him orchestrating his own music. Like the gift is God-given. It's unique. And so the tension between these two, they rise so close to the sun, and somehow a bit like a toxic marriage, it becomes destructive. But we only focus on the positive in this film. I mean, people are literally clapping and yelling out and rocking out. And the other thing is, blowing my mind, I saw on my socials just walking in here, our mum took her 20 and 22-year-old daughter last night to one session. They didn't like Elvis at all. And at the end, she said, well, I know what you're thinking, right? And he said, yep, Mum, let's go back in and see it again. And they went straight back in. It's unifying. It's bringing
Right.
generations together and people. And I love that. I love that.